Hare Krishna. Yeah. So today we are beginning this short journey together in this Discover Yourself course. It's about 8 sessions. We learn a number of things about life, all principles taken from Bhagavad Gita. So today's topic is discover the game of life. Right? We all like to have uh, life like a game, right? And enjoyable. So this topic will throw some light on how life can be like a game. Really, we'll see how it is. In general, in life, like all of us, we all look for, as a student, we look for good college to begin our life, right? To get educated, and then good career. After that, we want good salary. We want to settle down in life. Then marriage, have a car. So these are all the things that, in general, people look for to be happy in this world, right? Why we want to have all these things in life? Like at different stages, we want different things. Why? Why want to have those things? What is one word to keep? Happiness. Yeah. So happiness is the driving force, and we try to get all these things, whether it is car, wife, bungalow, or anything. It's all for one thing, that is happiness, right? So as a child, as I mentioned, you're happy with a balloon. But are you happy when you grow with a balloon? No. As you grow, you want tricycle. And then little older, then you want to play, you want to play football. Once you become young and, teenage, you want to have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, right? You want to look for love. As you become a businessman, you look for money. And when you become old, you want the love of your grandchildren, right? So at different ages, we are looking for different things to be happy in life. It's never constant. The thing is, we are not thoroughly fulfilled in what we are gaining through all this. That is the reason we are keep on moving things, trying to acquire that fulfillment in life. So that we are not consistent in what we are trying to. There is not one thing that we get and we stick to it. If we see our life, this is the cycle of life for everybody almost in our life, in the life. So our craving for happiness is so strong. You see people here, they try different fashions. See the hairstyles there, right? Very crazy hairstyles. All to become what? To be happy. That's all. They're all looking for one craving thing, that is happiness. Sometimes we do adventure sports, like you see the person there. There is skydiving, right? Sometimes people die out of those skydiving, right? So adventure sports, all these for one thing, to be happy. People even smoke and get lung cancer, get liver cirrhosis when they drink wine. Sometimes people maintain illicit relations, get, sexually transmitted diseases. But people desire to enjoy is desperate, and they keep trying various things in life. So the real question is, we are struggling for happiness, but are we really able to enjoy the happiness that we gain? Right? If we are, then why are we changing the happiness or the medium of happiness that we are trying to acquire? Even though we want to be happy and young, we cannot be young forever, right? That's a fact of life. We get old. We cannot be healthy forever. We get diseases in this world. And we think, here you see, person is eating food, right? We try to acquire happiness through various means, especially these 4 things, the beginning with eating. We like to eat But can we eat how much ever we want? No, there is a limit. If I give you a bowl of gulab jamuns, can you eat all of them? There is a war between tongue and belly. Belly says, no, 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 I can't take more. Tongue says, give me more. Just try one more. So there is always that, limitation in how much we can acquire happiness through the things of this world. Another way to become happy is to sleep. Right? People like to sleep on a nice bed, or people like to mate with the opposite sex, and they also defend themselves while living in this world. So these are 4 things that are common to all the living entities, and we consider them as quite important, right? Now countries defend each other, countries fight with each other, so they need defense, right? However, if you notice, animals have all of this. Look at any animal, right? Animals have friends, they have fun, they have families like we have. And, if you look at the happiness of animals in these activities, right? Animals like elephant, they can eat much more than what we can even attempt, right? Animals like elephant can eat hundreds of pounds per day. We can't beat an elephant in eating. There are polar bears that can sleep much, much longer, like 6 months they can sleep. Animals also mate. They're all there. They also defend themselves. So these 4 activities, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, they are common, whether you are an animal or a human being. There is no difference. Yeah. So if these activities are common, then how are humans any special, right? So what is the differentiating factor when we compare ourselves to animals? Animals, one may say, hey, animals are not as sophisticated as humans. Animals eat in filthy place, and we eat in nice 5-star hotels, right? And one may say, hey, animals sleep on very minimalistic facilities. We sleep on Dunlop pillows in a beach, posh bungalows. Animals may mate in the street. We mate in the nicest posh buildings. So animals can't really defend. What can they defend? We defend with missiles. We are so sophisticated. Then, are we a sophisticated animal? Literally, right? So you can see this right here. So literally we are not any different if we just stick our activities to just these 4: eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Yeah. So then what is the difference between humans and animals? For example, animals sometimes you may think, oh, animals are not intelligent. Do you think so? For example, if there is a cat, right? Sometimes it sneaks into the home in India, right? And when family is there, will it make noise? Will it do meow meow? It doesn't. It just silently goes and drinks the milk, right? So it's intelligent. That's why it is being silent, right? So animals are intelligent. If you try to pelt a stone at an animal, like dog, it will run away. It knows how to defend itself, right? You clap, birds will fly away. So they are intelligent. They know how to defend themselves. Animals have intelligence for these 4 activities. What are the 4 activities? Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Those 4 activities, animals have intelligence. There is no doubt about it. And if you look at these animals, like say eagle, it can see objects on earth from very far distance. It has telescopic eyes. And an animal like horse, it can run much faster than any human being can attempt, right? So we can't beat these animals. A dog can produce a about dozen puppies in a year. Human can produce one puppy. So we can't, compete with any of these animals in those areas. Elephant can eat hundreds of pounds. Polar bear can sleep. We can't beat that in sleep. So animals, in a way, are more sophisticated in certain area, in all these areas. We can't beat them in these four activities: eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. So then how are we special, right? So if animals have intelligence, animals have ration power, and they are better than human beings in eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, then what else is better with human beings? You may ask. One may say, hey, human beings are very intelligent. They are good at science and technology. Animals are not, right? So, but we see in the cosmopolitan cities like Seattle or say Delhi, what is there? With all the sophistication and development, the land is more polluted, air is more polluted, water is more polluted, there are traffic jams, and you can see all of this. Yeah, and even our own life, people are a lot more stressed in general. People have a lot more busy, and lifestyle is very not as comfortable as animals can. Lead a very simple life. They don't even care anything. But human beings, they have a lot more complicated lifestyles. With all this advancement, if the goal of advancement is to be happy, we are not getting there closer, actually. In fact, our life is getting more and more stressed out. Relationship problems, anxiety, stresses at work, our eating habits are not clean. We just eat something somewhere, and in fact, there is higher rate of suicides. All these things only have increased. Drug abuse, we can see people are using drugs everywhere. So our effort to become happy is not really making us happy. Even though our efforts are primarily focused on increasing luxuries and comforts, and not focused on actually increasing our inner fulfillment. That is the problem with current society. So, so despite all the advancement, as is mentioned here, people are more dissatisfied, full of anxieties, stressed, depressed, and above all, even though the goal is to be happy, they are truly not happy, they are unhappy. That is the state of affairs as of today. Yeah. So technological advancement helps man enjoy better luxuries for eating, sleeping, mating, and defending without offering true inner joy of heart. That is what exactly we are looking for in this world. Yeah. So we see that animals actually never commit suicide. Do we ever hear this animal? You never hear. They, even though elephant requires 100 pounds a day, it gets its food. Nature arranges. Actually, God has made arrangement for everybody, but we think we need to struggle to get that. That's our misunderstanding. So we never hear about any of these things, right? So no riots. Animals have no rights. There is no diversity. There is no divorces. There are no suicides. There are no drug abuses. So animals, in a way, are much more peaceful than human beings. The reason for all of this is, the real core problem is man has failed to control his mind. That's the key factor. Yeah. So that led to all these human lifestyle problems like suicide, murder, all these because his uncontrolled mind leads to greed, anger, envy, and all these negative qualities. So ultimately, he's not happy because of these qualities, acquired negative qualities. Yeah. So what really makes human beings special? Now let's discuss that, right? So there is this, Upanishad that describes this word in Mahabharata, actually. Ahara nidra bhayamaitunam cha samanyametat pashubir naranam dharmo hitesham adhiko vishesho Dharmena hina pashubhis samana. Yeah. So you can read here. The activities of eating, sleeping, mating, and defending are common in animals and human beings. The human beings are considered superior only when they inquire about higher dimensional science involving the wisdom of about God, His creation, His laws, and the secret of true inner fulfillment in life. Otherwise, they are considered just like animals. Okay? So this is the key difference. Unless we inquire about higher dimensional of life, we are as good as animals, right? If we are just leading our life at eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, we are just like one more animal. Only we differentiate ourselves only when we use our human body to higher purpose. So using this intelligence, we have this higher intelligence. Actually, the real ability that we have is the ability. For example, there is a dog in the street. You hit the dog. What does it do? Two things possible. It can run away. That's the easy option. Otherwise, if it becomes angry, it will fight against us. Right? It can shout us. But if you hit a human being, suppose you hit one, what does he say? He will do one more thing. He can also run away or he can fight back, but he will do one more thing in addition to one of those two. I'm just sitting on my own. I'm not doing anything. Why did this person hit me? He will get that question. So the ability to question is a human prerogative or a special ability. With that questioning ability, he can question his existence. He is using that questioning ability to increasing material facilities today. How I can make more money, how I can, study more, or we are using only for material purposes. But actually that inquisitiveness, the ability to question can be used for acquiring higher dimension and higher purpose of life, right? So that with that questioning ability, that, the superior ability, that we can actually question, who am I? And what really constitutes happiness? What is life? Why is this world created the way it is? How can I get inner fulfillment, not just external fulfillment? So these are questions, they have answers in Upanishads, and those are the questions with our special prerogative can we question and actually achieve that. It's not just inquiry, but also fulfillment. Yeah. Yeah. So you can see here, human can inquire about higher principles of what is really life, why people have to die, what exists beyond life and death, and can we make, how do we make right choices in life, right? Every minute we make decisions. How do you know we are making the right decisions? So these questions, right, we are going to show some of the questions. These questions will be answered as part of this course. Who am I? Am I really this physical body? Or do I have an existence beyond and above this body? Does God really exist? Scientifically, we'll understand whether God really exists. What are real secrets for success? How do I find my true guide? Is there life after death? Who is the supreme person? Can we get whatever we want in life? How to achieve unending happiness? So these are all the questions. Do we make destiny or destiny makes us? God is one, then why so many religions? Why do bad things happen to good people? So these are some of the questions that we all have, generally people don't have good answers for this. So all these questions will be answered as part of this, course over the next few weeks. Yeah. So now I'll discuss some practical learning take as part of this. Yeah. Hello? Is there a question? I'll mute you. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. So in this world, there are divine qualities and demonic qualities. So the divine qualities are like humility, tolerance, patience, compassion, hopefulness, joy, love. These are all divine qualities. And there are also divine demonic qualities like selfishness, arrogance, anger, envy, false prestige, lust, jealousy. So these are all demonic qualities. If you really look in deep in your own life, for example, as a journey, right? The minute you are happy, the times when you are happy, it's primarily because of the divine qualities, because you are grateful for something you got, or you helped somebody and you truly were happy at your heart. So if you look at your true happiness situations, primarily they are not just about eating, sleeping. They may give some temporary tickleness. But if you try to remember, those are the instances when you exhibited those divine qualities, you are truly happy. You can think about it. But when you are angry or envy or jealous, you're actually not happy, if you look at that, right? So now let's see how we can actually increase our divine qualities and reduce our demonic qualities. So positive thinking is because of divine qualities. Negative thinking is because of demonic qualities. You can see here a person, as he becomes more greedy, false prestige, lust, he is going down in life. While if there are, if he gives up attachment and study scriptures, achieve sense control, then he is actually growing up in life. Yeah. So life is like a book, book of life. So each page is like, say, an year, right? How do you really want to write you already have written, say, 20, 25 years in your life already. There are 25 pages already written. So in that book, how do you like to really write? Each page represents an year, right? For example, here you can see a person in the left side, you see here, he's angry, very angry. On the right side, he's very smiling and happy. He's getting wild in the left. He's upset, while the person on the right is smiling and cheerful. So if you have 100 chapters in this book, how do you want to fill the pages? You want to be a happy person rather than being a miserable person. Right? Okay, but okay, yeah, we can speed it up then. I don't know if were you there in the last session? No. Were you there? Oh, okay. I'll speed it up. Yeah. So yeah, so in your book of life, you can see in the left here and the right here, the family here in the left, even though they're very poor, their life is, ego-friendly and eco-friendly family, because you can see just by picture, they're so happy. Even though they don't have anything, just by having a good ego-friendly relationship at their home and living a very eco-friendly life, they're so happy. But on the right, you can see the people, they may have a lot of money, but unfortunately, they're love bankrupt. So this is how we see in the modern day life, most families are. So this is a representation of our body. Our body has 5 senses through which we acquire knowledge from outside. You can see the horses represent those 5 senses. And then the ropes represent the mind. The horses are controlled, or the senses are controlled by the mind. Mind is like a coordinating sense. And then intelligence actually drives the chariot of body. So the mind is in the hands of intelligence. If intelligence is good, it can really control the horses. The person is the soul, who is the passenger sitting in the chariot. How can the person be happy in this world if his intelligence is not able to control his senses? Can he be happy? If horses are driving in all directions, can he be truly happy? He cannot, because he's basically lost control of his life, right? So that's what we see. People who are drug abusers, they have lost control of intelligence. Their intelligence is not able to control their senses. A person can be happy when his intelligence is in full control of his senses. So Bhagavad Gita teaches how to control our senses, through practices like meditation. Yeah. So if intelligence is strong, it can pull the mind, and horses will be under full control. And that is when we can truly be happy in this world. Because control is necessary. For example, you have a gas cylinder. Can you use that without a regulator? Can't. There is a dam. It has so much powerful force. But without the dam control, like, can we leverage power from it? We can't. So even though, we have so much power, human body also can explore so many things. But unless we have control on our bodily functions, we cannot achieve anything good. So that's the principle. So one of the fundamental principles to be happy is to have good control on the senses, and that we can achieve through the wisdom of Gita. So, and Gita also teaches about, you can see that the core, the personality is there, and there are innate qualities like the good qualities that we discussed, right? Like gratefulness, or helping nature, all those things. And then there are acquired qualities which we acquire while we live in this world by looking at others, greediness, envy, all these acquired qualities are there. So our goal, we are like, water drop coming down pouring. When it is pure in the, when it is falling, but when it touches the ground, it becomes muddy. So similarly, while living in this world, we have acquired so many negative qualities. So our goal is to actually get rid of these negative qualities. Yeah. So acquired bad qualities, you can see. So there are some simple, qualities like postponing. Right? Sometimes people postpone. They don't want to study for exam. They will just postpone, and the last day they'll struggle hard. Right? We have the experience in colleges, and then people, sometimes stay in a very bad mood for very long. These are like, simple negative qualities. Little more serious ones are people who get easily irritated. They can't, handle things that they don't like. And there are people who are like, one-man heroes. They're like, they can't work with people. Inability to in team playing. And there are more grave negative qualities like lacking loyalty. Some people lack loyalty. You can't trust them. And there are people who also do bad mouthing, talking negatively about others. Those are very bad qualities. We should completely get rid of any of that. Yeah. So Gita lets us understand all of this. Now there is a simple self-test of personality type. Gita describes these qualities. There are 3 qualities: sattva, rajas, and tamas. Sattva is goodness, rajas means passion, ignorance means tamogun. You can see in the middle picture, the boss is yelling at the employee. So he has a incompetent employee, and boss could not handle it. He's basically exploding at him. So who is suffering in that picture? In the middle picture? Employee or the boss? Actually both. Because one is too angry, and he's definitely, if you're angry, you can't be happy. And the employee is also. So these are, qualities people exhibit in this world. It's not like people just have to live that way. And we can work on our qualities and fix those things. That's the goodness of, Gita wisdom. It can teach how we can fix these negative qualities. So if you want to become a visionary leader, you have to focus on being in the mode of goodness. Right? So we'll see here, The mode of ignorance is the lowest quality. It's called tamas gun. It is characterized with three qualities: nidra, alasya, and pramad. Nidra means oversleeping, and if you oversleep, you become lazy. You don't want to do anything. And pramad means madness. People of this quality who are possessed by these qualities, they are very uh, they do crazy things. You can see people around here, like people are crazy. They oversleep. Because they're oversleep, they're inattentive to do things. They always postpone things, live in a hopeless life. Depression is easily upon them. So that's why they take drugs. They're confused, foolish, indecisive, insecure, fearful, and always panicky. If something happens, they can't take it easily. They're panicked for very small things in life. And then there is mode of passion. Here, people, there are Sangha and Trishna. These are the two qualities. Sangha means, they are thirst for honor. They are individual players, right? So people say, if suppose, they are in a team, they say, I'll take care of everything. Then others say, hey, what should we do? No, you just sit and clap. I'll take care of everything. You just sit and clap. So that is mode of passion. They just want to act. They want to be they're thirsty for honor, and they can't work in a team. You can see people around, like this. A lot of people, very over ambitious. They take all the credit. They don't want to give any credit to others. They're easily angered and become very lusty. So these are very negative qualities. Over ambitious and cutthroat competition. Other bad thing is snap decisions. They quickly make decisions in life. Like, they don't think. They act and then think, oh, what did I say just now? That's a very bad quality. They act and then think. So it's like, if you want to, you have a scissor, or you want to cut a cloth, you cannot cut twice and think. You have to think twice and cut. So you can make very bad decisions. Yeah. So finally, mode of goodness, which is characterized by sukham and jnanam, means knowledge and happiness. People in mode of goodness are in general very happy because their life is regulated and they lead a very simple life. They are thoughtful. They think twice before acting, right? Think well and decide. They are noble, saintly. They think creatively. They have high level of tolerance. They're wise. They forgive. They have very controlled mind. So these are all good qualities that they have, right? Like a cow. Cow is a gentle animal, right? You will not ever feel threatened by a cow. So their slogan is, may wicked become virtuous, may virtuous become tranquil, may tranquil become free, may those who are free set others free. So this is, Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyanti, ma kaschid dukkha bhavet. Yeah, they're characterized by thinking twice before acting, right? So this is mode of goodness. Yeah. So you all are familiar with this story, right? There is a monkey, there are monkeys on a tree, and there is a baniya here who is selling monkey caps, or cabs. So he was sleeping, and then the story. Suppose the question for you is, how do you tackle situations in life, right? This is a very good life lesson. So this baniya is sitting here, and suddenly he found all the monkeys are wearing, and he suddenly lost everything. The question is, if somebody is in a tamogun, or the lowest mode of ignorance quality, what happens to him when he sees this? He'll be in anxiety. Oh, I lost everything. He'll cry, and he will go back to his home and tell his wife, I lost everything. I will, he's so sad. So that is one way of handling things. Now the next level is rajogun, mode of passion. What are they characterized by? Snap decisions. They don't think. They'll just immediately act. So these characteristic people, what do they do when they see this situation? What do? They'll try to throw a stone, and the monkeys will just run away. He can't catch the monkeys. He might lose everything at the end. But that is the way people act when they're predominated by mode of passion, right? And finally, if a person is in sattva-guna or mode of goodness, what he will do? He will think twice before acting. What does he think? Oh, maybe, I heard monkeys mock what we do. So he will try to take the monkey cap out and throw it. And monkeys also throw the same. And then he will get all the caps back. So that is characterized by sattva-guna, where people think twice before acting. So now you can see the difference. Now, looking at this, now we can understand how we can act in the mode of goodness in situations of life when we face, right? So that's the life lesson. Vision first, action next. That is sattva-guna. Yeah, we read this. Yeah. Yeah. So we can see here, there is a nice Venn diagram here. You can see Rajasic gun predominated by aggressiveness, selfishness, prone to a very active life. And then Sattva-guna, where people are noble, man of perfection, love and compassion. And then finally, the lowest mode, which is mode of passion, ignorance, where people are lazy and, very inactive, insensitive, right? So all those negative qualities. So if you want to lead a good life in this world, you can have passion, but guided by sattva. That passion should be guided by sattva-guna. For example, even in this world, when Arjuna was there, he was full of energy and passion to acquire, right, to win the war. But he was guided by Lord Krishna. Similarly, we have Chandragupta Maurya, great king, very passionate, was guided by Chanakya. And we have Shivaji Maharaj, great king from Maharashtra. So he was guided by Tukaram, right? And also Samarth Ramdas. So when Raja guided by Sattvic sages like this, right, that makes a noble leader. A noble leader is always guided a noble leader is guided with vision, because he has this influence of sattva through another leader or by himself, right? So even though we have passion, we need to be regulated. That's all. Just like we discussed already. If you have a gas cylinder but doesn't have a regulator, it's of no use. You can use only when there is regulation. Yeah. So sattva-guna gives a direction to enthusiasm, right? And it doesn't dampen it. Yeah. So now how to boost our mode of goodness? We all want to boost mode of goodness so that we can lead a very purposeful life in this world. So first thing is association with saintly people who have, very positive qualities in their life. Then we acquire those qualities through their association. Just like when you have a iron rod put in a fire, it becomes as good as hot iron rod. So as good as fire. So similarly, when we often in our life get in the association of saintly people, we acquire those good qualities from them. We can study good books, especially like Gita wisdom books like Gita and Bhagavat and Mahabharata. So they give us a lot of practical applications, how to lead a very, purposeful life, right? And then also practice some good practices in life, right? Like chanting and meditation. And also we can eat sattvic food, like fruits, milk, grains. These will increase sattva in our life. And also we should avoid unfavorable environments, and get in touch with spiritual ambience. Now you have taken your time to come and be in touch with us. You are, even though it's just for an hour a week, you are acquiring some good qualities, learnings, right? So it's an investment for your life, actually. So rest of your week will be guided by this knowledge that you acquired, right? It's not a waste of time. So it's regeneration, right? So it's like like we entertain our body so that we can regenerate ourselves. So similarly, we are doing this so that we can regenerate mode of goodness in our life. Yeah. So there was a research by Harvard University, which reveals, how mantra meditation helps and leads to a very relaxed state of mind with alertness. So there is this brainwave frequency study that was done. So that actually measured how, the brainwave, the frequency works is when we are in the sleepy zone, the frequency is between 0 and 3. And when we are in the drowsiness zone, we are between the frequency of 3 and 8. And the next one is a mantra meditation zone. It's called alpha zone, the ideal zone to be in, where the brain frequency is 8 to 13. And then very highly active zone, which is 13 to 18. And then hyperactive zone, which is above 18. And so you can see the red zone is primarily ignorance and passion, right? Hyperactive and plus is, red zone is all passion. The black zone at the bottom is ignorance. And the middle one is the ideal zone to be in, right? Yeah. So Bhagavad Gita actually teaches how we can cultivate and live in that yellow zone, right? How to relax alert zone, where you are always peaceful and you can execute all your life with attention, right? So that's called alpha zone. Those are the people who lead a very happy and peaceful life. Yeah. So now we'll learn one more very practical lesson. So let's see this, right? So how we can become a great time manager in our life? Yeah. So in our life, right, we have these three things, right? Planning and doing and interacting. Three things we all do. And if you do plan, if you do, and you're acting, and then also you're interacting with people around you, right? That is very positive and balanced life. If you plan and do, but don't interact with people, you're just working on, stuff and you don't interact with people, you do your own things well, but you don't develop relationships, right? You don't plan, you do, and you interact with a lot of people, but you don't plan. You basically perform others' priorities. You don't, because you never plan yourself. Your life is never planned. You basically, whatever somebody asks, you do. So that's not very fruitful. You do a lot of planning. You don't do anything, just thinking. But you also spend a lot of time interacting with people. You don't get anything done, literally. So you have good intentions, but good intentions are not good enough, right? In life, good intentions are not good enough. So no work gets done. So we should plan, we should act, and also we should balance our life, interact, so that you learn from others. How do you learn from others, right? So that is mode of goodness. The first one, 3 pluses, is mode of goodness. Second one is mode of passion, because you're individual doer. You don't care, you don't take any feedback, just you're a hero yourself. Yeah. Third and fourth is more or less mode of ignorance, because you don't plan or you don't act. Yeah. So tamogun people are daydreamers. Workaholics are, rajogonic people. Yeah, you can see here. Yeah? So, but the mode of goodness, people are very people friendly. Yeah, no, this one is mode of passion. Poor at finishing work. This is ignorance. Yeah, poor. Yeah, this third one is ignorance. So we shouldn't be one of any of this. Yeah, you are a minus time manager if you got this right. You plan but don't do act. I think we discussed. That's the daydreamer. You only plan. You don't do anything, or you don't interact with anybody. You only act, act, act. Don't plan. No interaction. Workaholic. And you don't plan, you don't do anything, you just keep talking to people around you. Huh? You're happy, but you're incompetent. Company will throw you away because you're not achieving anything. If you don't do any of that, then you are neither happy nor competent. Yeah. So how you manage your time decides your true happiness. Is it time? Yeah. Okay, we'll end. Yeah. So this is another very good lesson. We'll end with this one lesson, practical lesson. So how you manage your time really determines your happiness. You all have that experience. On a weekend, you didn't study and I wasted my time. You would have felt, or you planned certain thing, but you didn't do. You were not very happy. So there was some study that tells about there are 4 hormones that release from our body that determine our true happiness. Hmm? So unfortunately, these 4 hormones are hindered from release because of our overtime indulgence in media and gadgets in this day and age. There is this dopamine that makes you feel a sense of completing something, accomplishment, right? And then there is endorphin, which makes one feel healthy and happy. And there is serotonin that feels one, uh, that for the selfless contribution, seva that people do, that particular hormone gets released. And then oxytocin that makes one feel the social connection. Yeah. So yeah. So all these things are important. All these hormones should be released. But if you are stuck with gadgets in our life, we can't be really releasing these, and therefore if you don't release these, you are not really acquiring in that zone of happiness. Yeah. So this is real lesson here for us, right? So there are these 4 quadrants of time management matrix, right? We are know there are things that are very important and very urgent. You can't wait for it. For example, there is a deadline. You have to deliver that day, right? It's called breakdown maintenance. Something broke down. You're going in a car broke down. You can't wait for it. You have to fix it right there and then. That becomes an important and urgent thing that you want to complete. So that's quadrant 1. The quadrant 2 is important but not urgent, right? Like training and education that would help you in the future. That falls in the quadrant of important and urgent. Empowerment, empowerment planning. If you are a manager, you want to make your future secure, meaning you have to work with your team such that if there is emergency, you are ready for it with the right training and right skill set within the team, right? So this is more about preventive maintenance, right? You don't want to run into that breakdown maintenance. You want to prevent, and so regular oiling of vehicles, that is falls in this category. So you have to think about how you can do preventive maintenance so that your life is much more smooth. And then there is quadrant of deception, where it appears like it's urgent but not really important, right? So there is somebody who made a call to you, you have to answer it, but it may not be really worth your time. So there are these things which are urgent but not important, which you can delegate for others, right? You don't need to necessarily do it. If others can do it easily, trivial matters, let them handle it. For example, there are a lot of time wasters which you can avoid. Like, for example, you are waiting in a line. You can see, you can book, maybe you can, by booking a certain slot, you may actually come at the time instead of waiting in the line. It's urgent but not important, right? So things like that. And then there are things which are not urgent and not important, which we should completely eliminate from our life, right? So this is quadrant 4. So ideally, we should be in the quadrant of quality, the second quadrant. That's the most important quadrant, so that we don't run into quadrant 1, urgent and important. So always, so mode of goodness helps you stay in the quadrant of quality, right? So that helps you because you always think twice before you act. Yeah. A successful leader, if you want to become a successful leader in life, eliminate quadrant 3 and 4 in life, right? That's what intelligent people do, right? They want to completely eliminate unproductive engagements and time wasters, and things that they can delegate for others, they would rather delegate. They don't want to be engaged in that time wasters, trivial matters. So then you will grow in life. So we'll end here because we're running out of time here. I hope. Thank you for those who joined online, Gayatri and Nirupama. We'll end here and we'll continue next week. If you can join in person, that will be great. Thank you. We'll end here.